So the White House says that the U.S. plans to take more action against Iran-backed militants in response to the deadly drone attack in Jordan that killed 3 of our service members. The U.S. military launched a series of retaliatory strikes in Syria and Iraq, and we're going to talk more about it with our contributor and former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, Colonel Stephen Ganyard. So, Steve, the Biden administration says that more strikes are going to come. So do we have any idea on timing, what that could look like, and how long this could last?
Yeah, Kerry, I think there's a wait and see right now. Obviously, there was a lot of saber rattling before the last strike. That last strike was intended to be dramatic, to fly B-1s all the way from the United States. One pass, lots of ordnance dropped on lots of different targets. But frankly, that probably could have been done by one carrier air wing over the course of a day or a day and a half. So there was drama to what the U.S. did in terms of the numbers of targets, the amount of ordnance that was dropped. It was intended to send a message to those militias within Iraq and Syria that you need to stop it, or we're going to ramp up the retaliation. Right now, it seems like they're stopping, watching to see what these militias do, whether it did in fact deter them, or they're going to have to go back and continue these attacks.
So the U.S. struck, 85 targets over 7 locations, including, well, it happened in Iraq and Syria. That sounds like a lot, but were those enough strikes to actually accomplish what they want to do here?
So far, so good. We haven't seen any reports today, although one of the Iranian-backed militias did strike a camp that the U.S. is training Syrian fighters in. So, was that a close call? Did they deliberately intend to kill Syrian fighters, or was it just lucky that they missed the U.S.? So again, this is a problem because these militias that are still beholden to Iran are way out and not directly controlled, perhaps, by Iran. And so Iran loves to use its proxies, the Houthis, Hamas, Hezbollah, all of these militias that are within Iraq and Syria. But when they do, it doesn't mean that they have complete control. And it does seem that the Iranians said, whoa, 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 we don't want anything. We don't want to ramp this up into a regional fight. They just said this a couple hours ago, again, trying to signal to the U.S. like, hey, don't hit us, even though we know these are our proxies. So there's only so much control, and the Iranians have a real danger in stepping over a line that President Biden can't ignore.
And then you still have the attacks on the Red Sea. It just continues. Yep. And the U.S. has even countered those attacks as well. So, but they're happening. So just put into perspective, at what point will the attacks actually cease the violence that's continuing to spread? Or, do we need to get more aggressive here?
Kara, as you can imagine, up on Capitol Hill and around Washington, D.C., there are many voices. And one voice says, look, Iran's not going to respond. Iran's not going to stop using its proxies to harass both Israel and the U.S. and most of the Western world until they get a punch in the nose, which they have tended to, over the past, reacted fairly favorably to. The White House has another view. The White House is very focused on getting an agreement, getting a ceasefire in Gaza, and beginning to figure out what the next steps are towards a Palestinian state. So there's varying views on what's going to happen here, but for the most part, the U.S. Navy and the U.K. Navy are playing whack-a-mole in Yemen. It's very difficult to see these anti-ship cruise missiles that are being launched, the ballistic missiles. There is very good surveillance. Obviously, we have drones looking down on those sites, so they are taking them out as they are being put onto launchers. But it's still, again, this is a big part of the world, and this is a big sea, and to be able to defend that on all of the commercial traffic is just not possible, given the amount of ordnance that's being shot by the Houthi rebels.
All right, Steve Ganyard, we'll keep talking. Thank you so much, Steve.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.